ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and today we're going to be talking about a Game of Thrones breakdown, which will be how Margaery makes powerful men chase while Sansa gets mistreated. So essentially, I'm going to show you the difference between a needy woman and a powerful woman. What is the biggest difference in behavior that allows men to respect you as opposed to the one behavior and one mentality that makes men lose respect for you? And the funny thing is, this is something that's really that can easily be fixed, like a lot of things that I talk about. So we're gonna be using Game of Thrones, and we're gonna be breaking down some of the scenes so that you guys can have some understanding visually about how that behavior looks like. All right, so let's get started. All right, but for those who don't know, if you guys need one-on-one coaching, go to my mindfulattraction.org/in-the-game coaching. You'll be able to receive one-on-one coaching right there. And if you want to attend a seminar, I'm a dating coach for women. I teach women about mindfulness and dating advice such as dark tactical manipulation and stuff of that area. Just go to the link below, and you guys will be able to see times when I'm giving seminars. All right. So with that being said, let's get started. All right. Oh, there's a cat behind me. What the fuck? So the first thing is this, right? Let me show you what before I get into the footage of Margaery and Sansa. Let me show you why King Joffrey in the show Game of Thrones, why he respected Margaery more than Sansa, and this will give you a good insight as to what kind of mentality you have to have in order for men to respect you without being mistreated. Because a lot of women have that problem, wherein they don't know why guys keep treating them like shit, and then there's other women that the same guys treat them better. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, but let's see what he says first.
I think Joffrey sees Margaery in quite a nice light, in stark contrast to his previous relationship, if you can call it that, with Sansa. It was quite a destructive one, and I didn't think Joffrey really liked Sansa that much. But the way I've been directed and the way it's written, it's quite explicit that Joffrey actually does like this girl. I think because she's a real woman, and she makes him feel like a man and masculine, because she's this woman of great decorum and politeness. So she's just trying to work this little kid, give him whatever he wants, compliment him, and make him feel like the big guy.
So what you can see here is that the way that she was controlling him was to make him feel strong and powerful like a man. You see, so she was she was using his weaknesses, his lack of masculinity, as a leverage in order to manipulate him through learning how to stimulate his positive and negative emotions, allowing him to feel like shit, which is not feel like a man, and then empowering him through the tactics that I'm going to be teaching you in this video, as opposed to Sansa, where he was the one who was chasing her. He was the one that was going towards her, but she wasn't really making him feel like a man. And I'm gonna show you why that was happening, and so you guys could really see if you guys are actually doing this in your life, so that you guys can change it. All right, so let's get started. Let's just watch this scene of King Joffrey fucking up, right, where he fucked up. And notice how she reacted to him when he apologized to her and when he felt contrite. And this is the mistake that a lot of women make. Just watch.
My prince. My prince.
My lady, I fear I have behaved monstrously the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, he's an evil motherfucker.
With your permission.
As you can see, he has behaved monstrously for the past few weeks, right? And a lot of guys, when they fuck up, what do they usually do? They try to give you gifts. Rather than change their behavior, they try to give you gifts. And a lot of the times, if you can capitulate to that and you let that happen, they lose more respect to you, because they know what makes you react. They know what makes you what they could do in order to win your favor over. All right, so let's keep watching. It's gonna get good. Look at her face.
It's beautiful.
He misbehaved,
Like the one your mother wears.
and she is not
Queen someday.
standing up
It's
for
only
herself.
fitting you should look the part. Will you forgive me for my rudeness?
Like, a lot of women think they're doing the right thing, but just keep watching. Just keep watching. This is why he loses respect for her, because he's able to do anything he wants, and by just saying I'm sorry and giving her this or that, he's able to easily convince her. You see, the problem is that when a guy fucks up in anything in life, you have to learn how to punish people the right way. You have to learn to let people know that they overcross your boundaries. You see, and so a lot of women either do it reactively, which is to say, out of pure insecurity, you make them feel like shit. So as a result, she's gonna come back at me and try to convince me through her own aggression to change. You see, and that's where a lot of women. That's how a lot of women know how to deal with their man. They're either the weak one, the passive, or they're either overly aggressive. A lot of women don't have presence of mind and don't know how to use their head in order to change a man's mind without being overly aggressive. But let's keep watching.
There's nothing to forgive.
There's nothing to forgive. Get the fuck out of here. You see, in this moment, she could have easily said, look, I accept this, but I don't know, man. Like, this is something I got to think about. You see, act a little bit uninterested. Well, even though, she would have done that, maybe he would have chopped her head off. But in normal situations, when you're not facing an imperial king who's a fucking psycho, you want to be able to tell him, look, I gotta think about this. Like, I gotta think about this. I gotta think about this. Why? Because it makes him think. Why does she have to think about how maybe she wants to break up, maybe this or that? But the point is that you should not be letting guys do shit to you, and don't fuck up, and you just let them do whatever they want. A lot of women are way too passive about this, like she is. All right.
You are my lady. One day we'll be married in the throne room.
You see, he's giving her a fantasy. He's able to divert her attention from what he did wrong to the fantasy that she wants. And because she wants to buy into the fantasy so badly, she rather look through those red flags, doesn't say anything, simply because she wants a fantasy. And that relates a lot in relationships. We want the fantasy so much that we allow people to treat us like shit.
Ladies from all over the 7 kingdoms will come. From the last hearth in the north to the salt shore in the south. And you will be queen of all of them.
He's like, that's bullshit.
I'll never disrespect you again. I'll never be cruel to you again.
We hear that all the time.
Do you understand me?
Don't let words.
You're my lady now.
Don't buy into words.
From this day.
No.
Until my last
Nope.
day.
Nope. This is how manipulation is done. You see what I'm saying? All right. So I'm gonna show you the difference between her and Margaery, which is Margaery is the one that he respects the most. All right. You might think that forgiving him works, but forgiving him makes him lose respect for you more. So let's watch how the difference between Margaery and her.
To come here, to the capital, see the southern knights in their painted armor, and King's Landing after dark. All the candles burning in those windows.
Just notice the way she talks, self-defeating, low self-esteem. I'm so stupid.
Stupid little girl.
So what tends to happen is that when you have low self-esteem, you're gonna depend on your God to make you feel better. So as a result, his words will have a lot of value, even though you know he lied to you, because you're just trying to feel better. All right. So if you have low self-esteem and you're not self-reliant, you're gonna be susceptible to having guys continually disrespect you without you standing up for yourself.
Dreams you never learn.
On the other hand, Margaery,
Come walk with me.
she's more supportive. You see, just notice the body language.
First time I saw you in the throne room.
Notice the way
I've never
that
seen
she
anyone
moves.
look so-
Notice the way she moves. Notice her energy is more grounded. You see, it's not low self-esteem. It's more there. You see, and something that cannot be faked. This is more a reflection of your inner state. That cannot be faked. Reflection of your inner state. I'm rapping.
Happy. I want very much for you to be happy, Sansa, and so does my grandmother. You would have been happy at Highgarden. Women in our position must make the best of our circumstances.
How do I make the best of my circumstances? I have to marry him.
Has Lord Tyrion mistreated you? No. Has he been kind to you?
So as you can see, the difference between her and Sansa is that Margaery, she has more presence of mind. You see, she doesn't let her emotions consume her. And look, I could teach you a lot of tactics, like step-by-step tactics, but the fundamental to all of this is having presence of mind, being able to think in the midst of chaos, being able to be relaxed in the midst of chaos, being able to become your own source of positive emotions, all right? And that will lay the foundation wherein no guy will manipulate you, because you don't need anything from them. You become self-fulfilled. So as a result, there is no positive emotion, no scintilla of self-esteem that you need, because you have everything that you need, because it's arising out of you. A lot of women, they have this false belief that in order to be happy, they need men. In order to feel self-assured, they need men. And when you do that, you tend to capitulate and you tend to allow men to disrespect you. And that will all be reflected on how you perceive yourself, which she says, I'm so stupid. The other one says, I'm smart, I'm witty, I'm self-reliant. You see, and that's a reflection of high self-esteem. And you gotta learn how to do that. All right, and it can easily be done by learning how to meditate. I know I always go back to this, but this is fucking true. Meditation, yoga, self-awareness, and practice these three things, and I can promise you, your self-esteem will increase. And as a result, inevitably, it will increase your relationship. It'll increase the amount of respect that men have for you. All right, let's keep watching.
Tried.
You don't want him, though.
He's a Lannister.
Far from the worst Lannister, wouldn't you say?
I'm sorry. Here I am complaining to you.
My son will be king. Sons learn from their mothers. I plan to teach mine at Margaery.
You see, the difference between her and Sansa is that she has a plan. She has a plan and she has a vision about her life. You see, when you don't have a vision about your life, that means that you feel like you cannot control your life. So you allow yourself to become a victim. So as a result, with the lack of self-esteem that you have right now, it feels like you'll never get out of it. So it means that you just have to take whatever's in front of you. And that's why a lot of women allow men to disrespect them, because they feel like they cannot do any better. Not any better in terms of finding another guy, but any better in terms of feeling better. They believe that in order to feel better, you need to find a guy. But when you learn that you can feel good without a man, it liberates you from the need to be with him. It liberates you. And so before you get in a relationship, you got to learn to be liberated from that schema, to realize that you could be happy without a man only if you go into your pain rather than running away from your pain. Because she feels insecurity. So what does she do? She tries to find security in her circumstance. The other one finds her circumstances to be insecure. So what she does? She plans things out and executes a plan. That's having high self-esteem, believing that she has control over her life. All right. That also indicates that she understands the power that she has in being able to control her life. When you feel helpless, you feel fearful, and that increases and that makes the enemy seem stronger, and it makes you seem weaker, and thus lowering your self-esteem and making you susceptible to circumstance. So let me show you how she controls Joffrey and how she's able to gain his respect without being a pushover. All right, let's get started. Let's watch this.
Rhaenyra Targaryen was murdered by...
Where are you, Grace?
I'll show you.
Their ancestors built here.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I know they did terrible things at the end. Their ancestors built here.
Let me show you how she empowers them to take action. Like, she doesn't gain his respect by being a pushover. She gains his respect by finding out his fears and his dreams and fantasies, and by becoming a beacon of hope, empowering him by letting him know that he could do whatever he sets his mind to, make him feel like he can control his life, make him feel like that he can achieve the unachievable, and the man is going to depend on you for the emotional support. And when you become an emotional support for a man, rather than an ego, like, which is to say, rather than you become his source of ego validation, I feel like a man, and as a result, I'm gonna use you to feel better. That's a much better paradigm and a much better dynamic than just being the pusher of a woman. Become his support. Find out what he feels weak in, and give him suggestions that empowers him, similar to what we're gonna watch right now.
Greatness.
Couldn't agree more.
Watch. That's the people. He's afraid of going in front of them, right?
Shall we go and see them?
See the fear? See that fear? And what does she do? She doesn't say, we don't have to go there. She says, fuck that. We're going to that. We're going towards your fears.
You give them your love. They will return it.
She realizes that he wants to be loved. a weakness as he has. He had never felt loved. When his dad died, he told him that he wasn't man enough. All right, so she understands that she wants to be loved by people, as sinister as he is. So what does she do? She shows him his fears, makes him feel weak, and then empowers him by giving him a positive affirmation. You could do it. I know you want to be loved. Go towards them, and you will be loved. The fancies that he has in his mind, and just watch.
Thousandfold. I've
Look.
spoken with them. I know how they feel about you. You led the defense of King's Landing.
Bullshit. See?
They adore you.
He's making him feel strong. I talked about this in the previous video. You see?
Open the doors.
Open the doors. Right? He's facing his fears, and she's guiding him. See?
Joffrey?
See, and that's how she's manipulating him. She's manipulating him by becoming the source of his sense of pride, of his sense of masculinity, not by succumbing to him. You see, she leads first. He's like, wow. You see, because she's allowing him to face his fears. He's admiring her. He's like, how the hell do you do that? And what does she do? She shows him how to do it, right? See? Effortless. That was a shitty ass movie. All right, and so that's how it's done. So it's not by trying to impress him or trying to get him to appreciate you more, but rather a good and direct path towards getting his respect is to find whatever he's weak in, right, and empower him in it. You see, but you got to find out what his weaknesses are and where he derives his sense of masculinity, and you try to find a way to encourage him to tackle his fears by telling him what could be possible, and telling him how you believe in him, and he's going to begin to depend on you. You see, and you take the lead. If you notice, if you think that if he's insecure about his weight, about him being not strong in terms of physically, then start going to the gym and tell him how better he could look if he was in shape. You see, and start going and take the first step. But the point is that he's going to gain your respect of doing that. It's not a direct route, but rather an indirect one. And I've seen it work in many men, and it's worked on me. You see, because a guy's gonna respect you because he's gonna say, I was able to do it because of you. You see, and that's pretty much it. If you guys want to watch other breakdowns, I did a couple other breakdowns on Game of Thrones. You guys are gonna be able to see the playlist at the end of this video. So I have a whole bunch of different breakdowns, not just on Game of Thrones, but also on The Bachelor, and I just break down the different scenes so you guys can have a better understanding on attraction. All right. Anyways, it's Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I'm gonna be making more videos like this week because Game of Thrones is coming out, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye bye.